This is my Dina Wakley multi-surface journal, and I've pulled out some bits of ephemera from my collection. I've also got a page of book text that I've already torn up into small pieces, just small blocks of text on fairly old, as you can see, quite foxed, not foxed, but it's discoloured book text paper. And I've just pulled out quite a few bits of ephemera that have a little bit of a travel theme to them, and I've also got one of the paper dolls. Now this one is obviously of a young man, but he's got gloves on, so could be driving gloves, who knows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a composition today out of all the bits that I've pulled out of the collection, and I'm going to kind of layer them and lay them down. But what I want to do is I want to kind of have half of the page completely covered, so diagonally from top left to bottom right, almost completely covered in book text and ephemera, but the other half kind of leaving it bare so that it's just white. And that's the section where I want to kind of put the young boy up there. I'm going to try and do it so that it's not like a distinct line across. I'm going to break up the background using the book text, but you'll see what I mean. So I have a kind of an image in my mind what I want to create, but not necessarily the final product, if you get me. Anyway, so today I'm going to be using the matte medium just to stick down onto the page all the bits and pieces that I want. So I'm just going to add a big dollop all over the page, and I'm going to just start layering down the bits of paper pretty much. I'm going to take it right up to the end, right up to the top of the page, and I've got a polypropylene page protector under the page because I don't want to damage the page which is underneath that, which is one of those burlap ones. So I'm just using this page protector in place while I stick everything down. And I also want to put this one over here, so that's going to go down there towards the bottom. So again, put that there, give that a little bit of a blast over, and then I can start to build up these other pieces over here. So if I kind of add a piece in the middle, I'll know pretty much where I'm going. So that can go there, and then I can start building these bits up so that they join across the middle. And I have another bit about there, over the top, and then another piece kind of down there. So that's kind of divided the page up from the top left down to the bottom right, but I also want to cover this part of the page in with the rest of that ephemera that you saw that I had. So I'll just paint quickly a coat of that gel medium, and then we can start adding in some of the other bits that we've got. Make sure we get this the right way around. So that's a little map of the US. So let's just tear a bit of that off. We might be able to use some of that elsewhere, so that can go about there. And then we have this crown thing here. Do. Not particularly bothered if we've got little areas like this bit down at the bottom that isn't covered, because I can always add some colour and paint into that bit a bit later on. So move my young lad out of the way, and then grab this other piece and put that about there. Just trying to line it up with the bottom of the page. And then I've got that one. And if I find I need a little bit more, it's okay, I can just dip into my ephemera collection. Which I think I'll have that dance ticket up there. There we go. Pretty much stick that in place. And then add a little bit more glue. I've got an airmail sticker. And then we have that other piece of the map, which I'm going to add in over here. And then we have that airmail arrow, which I'm going to put there. And then we have a little 2 and 6 2 shillings and 6pence. Put that there. And I'm going to add this little Union flag. Just there. And then the bird I'm going to stick up here, like so. Because I think it's just crying out to be stuck down there. Okay, now I have got a few other small places that I want to maybe just add some bits into. So I'm just going to grab one of my little ephemera collections. That's a Halloween one. Ah, here we go. So this is pretty much one that just has lots of bits that don't fit in anywhere else, really. Or I can't remember where they actually came from. So I'll just have a quick... What do we got? Oh, there's a nice little stamp there. There's another one. So I think we might just add that in there. I was supposed to be finding pieces that go down here, but that's just the way it works. Oh, there's another 2 there, look. Oh no, we've got 5 in the same style as that one, so that's brilliant. So we'll put that there. Should I put it on its side? I think I will. So there you go, you see. Creative process, thinking on the hoof. On the oof. And we need something smallish just to go down at the bottom there, but not too big. So how about, what does that say? Enclosure. How does that fit there? Will that do it? No, it won't, but I'm going to stick that down there anyway, because we like these little bits. It's too big, that's going to cover everything up. What does this say? 6 pence, 6.5 pence. Yes, look at that, that could have been made for it. So let's just put that right in there. We'll just go over that, and I want one more little piece. Just add a little bit more glue. Ooh, way too much there, but that's fine. add that over that. Special delivery there, and then I want a couple of little more pieces just to go. I like these little price tag kind of numbers. I have something just to break that line up there. Like that. And then we've got that number 4 that I think can go up here. Stay put, do as you're told. And then let's see what else we've got. Some larger big pieces which I don't particularly want. I like that clock face though. So the clock face I'm going to put up here. And then there's a tiny wee postcard which I think will go nope. Yes. Yep. Something here. Something just on that little corner. And I don't want to put a butterfly in. What does this say? Merchandise. Cool. So, no butterflies allowed. Don't want any butterflies in, and we've got another price tag there. 15 cents. Let's see whether or not we can put that. Yeah. So just creating a little freeform group of ephemera. So we've got a nice kind of clustered area, and then we've got all this area up here where there is hardly anything. And there's another little postcard there which I think I'm going to incorporate. Just add some more glue there, because I'm going to add that paper doll any second. So give that a smattering of the medium, and then I'm going to stand the little guy just there. I think I will just tuck that underneath him. There. And that is all I'm going to stick down on that page. That will do me. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to get this completely and utterly, totally dry before I can do anything else. So out comes the heat gun, and I'll be back in a minute. All the matte medium has now dried, but it's also just knocked back that shine from some of those elements from the ephemera. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to give everything a coat of clear gesso. So I have the Prima Art Basics clear gesso, and I'm going to go over the entire page, making sure that it's all had a real good coating, because I will be adding some colour to this page as well. So I want to make sure that there's some nice tooth for the paint to grab onto. But I'm using the clear rather than white, because I do want to keep the intensity of the colours in some areas. So if I'd used white gesso, then it would literally knock back some of those colours right into the background, and some of them I don't want to be knocked right back. So that's pretty much the entire page done with the clear gesso. Brush strokes there. Right, okay, I'm going to leave that as is now. Let's put that gesso away to one side, and again I need to get this completely dried so that that gesso protects everything. So I'll be right back. All that clear gesso is now dry, and I've taken out my Neocolor 2s. These are the Faber-Castell, or Faber-Castell, whichever you want to pronounce it, Faber-Castell Neocolors, and I'm going to just have a quick flick through and see if there's any of the colours which immediately sort of grab my attention. So if we're going to stick to a kind of a basic neutrally palette to start off with, then I think something like the ochre will be quite nice. So I'm going to just add a little bit of that colour, the Neocolor, just give it a bit of a blend with finger, and just add some of that colour around the edges. Now, I'm not going to get too hung up on this, because I am going to bring in a baby wipe, and I'm going to literally activate the colour with that baby wipe like so. So it just helps to smooth that colour in. It just gives us a nice kind of even starting point on the page, and then that helps tremendously get in some nice colour into the background. And this is why I wasn't particularly bothered about this gap down here, because I knew I was going to start building up some of that colour and then start blending it, activating it. And because we've put that clear gesso on the page, that really helps to manoeuvre and blend in that colour where it's needed. So now, let's give that a quick blast to dry it, and then we can start adding on some darker colours. Now, of course, our first instinct when we're doing like a vintagey, nostalgic kind of page is to reach for the brown, but I'm not going to this time. I'm actually going to go for a dark green. So this is an olive green. So instead of the brown, I'm going to go for this kind of nice deep green, almost like a heritage green. Start adding in some of that colour, and again, baby wipe. Start adding in those nice greenish tones. Not enough. don't want to take too much of it away. I still want that colour to come through, but I also want some of those nice warm reds and colours to come through from the background as well. So, excuse me. I'm going to look to see what other colours we've got that we can utilise in the background. Now, is that a copper? Copper. I think it may be actually. Doesn't it? I can't see where it says the colour anyway. Oh, bronze. Haha, perfect. So again, start adding in more colours on top. I will add some brown in, but I want to get some of this other kind of nice colour in there first. And grab a baby wipe and just start adding it all in. Like a metallic-y colour. That's going to add a nice bit of a sheen underneath. It's just a gradual build up, so let's have a look for those nice like rust colours now. So we've got russet and we have, just says brown. So let's add in some of that. And then more of the green, bring that green in a bit more. And then right down at the bottom, darker colour. And then a little bit of the dark up here. Some of that green to bring it down. And then just lightly it's all darkening up, but not quite as dark as I wanted it to. The colours are building up quite nicely as the base. A bit more brown in there. Keep it nice and light. So it's all kind of knocked back. But still not totally dark. So all that green has kind of gathered in all those edges and that kind of stuff. So again, we need to get it dry a little bit and then we can carry on and add some more colour. Okay, so the page is pretty much dry and I've now brought out my pit pens, my Faber-Castell artist pit pens, and these are India ink, but they do have plenty of time, workability time, so that you can add the colour onto your page and then you can pretty much blend them with your finger before they dry. Once they are dry, they're permanent, so you can pretty much go in and start adding in. There you go, see? It's where you start to get your real kind of grunge build up. So perhaps those neo colours and the baby wipe is a little bit too strong, as in the baby wipe was removing too much of the colour, activating it and then wiping it back off again because we'd added on the gesso. But this is just adding in that nice grungy kind of like dirtiness to the corners, which is what I wanted. Yeah, that's building it up quite nice. It's a nice kind of like weathered, dirty look, which is kind of what I was going for, or hoping for, really. I won't say going for, more hoping for. Because the thing with art journaling is you never really know exactly how these things are going to react with each other. If you're using more than one different kind of medium, you know, one day they might react one way, the next day they might react a different way altogether. And again, you might use, you know, a particular brand of gesso one day and it does one thing, and then you try a different brand and it doesn't do the same thing. So it's all experimental and all good fun. That's the whole point of it. So just add in some more grunginess. Cool. Loving it. Whistle the theme tune for the McDonald's advert, but I'll probably get into trouble. Cool. Like that, but I want to add in some more colour. I want some green in there. I haven't really got that many different types of green, so I'm going to add in just some highlights, green colour here and there. It's just helping to lift those areas a little bit. Just get a nice little bit of a greeny overlay. And then up at the top here, see that green start to blend in. Liking that green. Okay, so now we've got the greens in, let's start warming it up a little bit more as well. So we've got reds down at the bottom. Let's add in some just plops, blobs of red, just to kind of balance it a little bit. We're not adding in a lot. It just kind of helps to all blend together. Liking that a lot. Okay, I'm just going to give that a quick blast, just to make sure it's all dry. Now that everything is dry, I was going to darken up the bottom and left-hand side here a little bit more, but I decided against it. I'm actually going to pretty much leave it as it is. I'm not even going to add any white splatters. I know, shocking. But what I am going to do is I'm going to add a couple of quotes from these clippings stickers from Tim Holt's Ideology. And I've gone through the sheets trying to find a couple that kind of work together. And I have. So I've got this one, which says challenge the world, which I'm pretty much going to add in like there. And then we have another one which I've already peeled off, which says lesson 175. Now this kind of reminds me of my father, actually, because when I was growing up, my dad used to have useless information tidbits. We used to give them numbers, so it's useless information fact number 447 kind of thing. So that reminds me of my dad. So you've got lesson 175, challenge the world. And then down here, I'm going to add the word exploring there, and then here, underneath the airmail, I'm going to add the phrase just under his feet there, I think, just to kind of semi-ground him, even though we've done it with the colour. We've got found himself in a strange land. So I like that. I'm going to stick those down there, and then all I need to do is just to grab one of those neo colours again, or just maybe a brown pencil actually. Let's see if I can find one quickly. Where's all my pencils gone? Pencils and ink tents, there we are. Different colour soft pencils. Right, so we can do with a nice brown, and then just add in a little bit of colour. So it just does it really, really subtly. You don't have to go really, really mad with these. Just need to blend it in. Now then, I've got some of the watercolour ones here. All sorts of different ones. Ink tents, yes. So let's put the colour soft ones away because they're not water soluble. But these are. These are the water soluble ones. So let's just add a little bit of that underneath. And then somewhere, I think I had yes, I have a cotton bud Q-tip, and I'm going to grab one of the wet wipes, just wet it slightly, and that's just going to, I could have done it with my tongue, couldn't I? Just to add a little bit of colour just underneath those, just to kind of make them pop a little. Right, so I've just literally just wet the tip of the Q of the tip. I'm just going to go over just to activate adds a nice little bit of grunge around and over the top. Just helps to bed it in. Love it. Challenge the world. And I think I'm going to call this page done. So all I need to do now, he says, grab in a pen is I'm going to sign it down here at the bottom and date it. So it's the 29th of November. And then I'm going to call this page complete.